Welcome to Tarot by Fernanda, and on today's reading, I'm telling you all about your next romantic relationship. And I want to make it very clear that this is not about the next person you're dating or having a situationship with or friends with benefits kind of situation. No, this is about your next exclusive, romantic, committed relationship. Okay, now in front of you, you can appreciate 4 piles: pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. Take the time that you need to pick the pile that you feel most called to, most connected with. If I can make a suggestion, close your eyes, pass your finger over the screen, and whenever you feel a tingle, you stop, and that is the pile that your soul is picking for you. Okay? Once that you have picked a pile, you can head to the description box, the comments section, and you'll find the timestamp for each one of the readings. I want to also take the time to say thank you to my audience. Thank you to everyone that has taken the time to leave a comment, to subscribe, to give it a like. I really enjoy doing readings. You guys know that I have another channel in Spanish, and I really have fun doing them. So hopefully you can also enjoy them. And yeah, that said, I'll see you in a couple seconds. Bye. Hi there, pile number 1, and welcome to your reading. I'm Fernanda. I'm the tarot reader behind all the pick cards that you can find in this YouTube channel. Now, you're here because you picked this beautiful card. And I want to clarify that this reading really focuses on exclusive romantic relationships or committed romantic relationships. This will not about, let's say, the next person you're dating or just like having a situationship with or friends with benefits kind of situation. This is when you actually like the next person who you will be like, okay, we're gonna be exclusive. We really care about each other. This is a committed relationship. There's like a level of commitment in here. Okay. All right. So interesting. So let's see what you're up to. The first thing I'm gonna do is like kind of see what you guys are up to while right before or like when you two meet. Like what is your energy? What is going on? What kind of describes you the most? And yeah, and the format of this reading will be very like you versus the other person. So right away you have this 9 of Cups, and then your person got the 6 of Swords and the Knight of Cups. So this is already telling me like right when you guys meet, you are in, well, I will say in a way in similar situations, but I think that your person definitely, he is kind of in a time of his life or her life that is walking away from chaotic situations, whether they're romantic or not. Maybe this person also moved from a different country or recently like made a big move that was the best for him or her at that point in his life. And it just seems like this person, when you meet him, he is also like kind of really ready for that romantic relationship, because with the Knight of Cups is like this person may actually be dating several people, not at the same time. It's just like he's out there, or he's like, even if he's not dating, it's like he knows that he's ready for it. Like he's really open for love. He's really open for like that courtship. I feel like this person, like your person, will, when you meet him, you will soon realize that he is a relationship kind of guy. Like he wants a relationship. I don't know about you yet, but I can already tell that he will be very clear, very vocal about like, I'm looking for a exclusive committed relationship. I also see like this person being very like romantic and having like nice gestures. And like I said, I feel like They're telling me also like if this person is from a different like country or like has a different background or culture, I think that he is like from one of those cultures that really like to courtship, or if you're a man and you're watching and this is a woman, let's say, it's just like like in every single country, like culturally speaking, courtship works a little bit different, right? Like in Canada, everything is very 50-50, but like coming to Mexico, like men are like expected to pay, and the courtship is very different, and like you actually include parents from the very beginning. So it's like everything is very different depending of where you're dating, but I feel like this person may bring this like a cultural background of like dating means to have a lot of um, nice gestures for one another. Okay, now in your case with this Nine of Cups for you, I'm really getting that you are in a place in your life that you feel very satisfied with yourself. You feel like um, I think that every single decision you make, it's really thinking about your well-being. It's really like focus on your own self-fulfillment, and you are at a stage in your life that you're really thinking about yourself of like how can I feel full and fulfilled, how can I feel happy, and it's like kind of a liberating stage of your life, because it's like you're not about pleasing others. You really are about pleasing yourself and picking things that really you feel emotionally connected with. So whether it's your hobbies, your job, the people you connect with, you're being very authentic in that way. And I just get this sense of like you're not letting anyone tell you what to do. Okay, and here another thing they're telling me is that the stage that you're in when you meet this person is that you, with the Tiger Iron, is like you're at a time in your life that you want to feel grateful for other people's good fortune. And it's like when you feel happy for others, then you can feel happy for yourself as well. And when you are happy for like good things are happening to others, like it's like you can also allow yourself to be grateful for the things that you have. It's like maybe this is something maybe you have always been like this, or maybe it's something you're actually working through because you felt like in the past you compare yourself too much with other people's lives. So let's say, or even their image, their body, the money they had, the job they had, the opportunities they had access to. And so you are at a stage in which you're like, okay, I need to know what makes me happy, and as long as I'm grateful and I'm focused on myself, then I can allow myself to be happy for others and not feel jealousy or envy for others. And I think that's that's a very nice thing or lesson to learn. Now this other person, the clear quartz and the orbicular jasper. Okay, so this person definitely is going after one of his dreams. I feel like the whole traveling thing or moving or putting some distance between like a chaotic situation and himself, I do feel like that is like a goal that he had. And another thing as well is that he's trying to be very positive, of like being very optimistic, like believing that things are gonna work out for him, that like the universe got his back. Like he's trying to be very optimistic. I really find this, when you go to a new country and you need to make it work, and like you're trying to make more money and all of this, it's like, and you're trying to be optimistic and be like, okay, God or life got my back. And I feel like that is the feeling he is having right before he meets you. Okay, now let's look at the first impression between you and him. What is the impression you have of him or her, right? But I'm just going to be saying him because I know majority of you are women that are watching this reading. Ooh, wow. I feel like this is such a This is really like really first impressions that you're getting from each other. So you see this person, this man, as a king of wands, and he sees you as this beautiful high priestess. Okay. Now, this is all about like, let me start with your impression of him. I feel like you see him as this very confident, passionate, fiery person. Like, he may be a fire sign, like an Aries, Sagittarius, or a Leo, but he doesn't have to be. It's just like that's the impression he gives you, like someone who's very confident, someone who, I will also say, a king of wands or even a queen of wands is always someone that is very open-minded. Okay, anything with wands, it's usually open-mindedness. It's like this desire to learn more, but not like academic, like it's not about like book smart type of learning more or like education. It's more about like want to travel the world more, to know more about people more and know more about religions and different cultures. So it's that kind of person, that kind of open mind. And so I feel like that's how you perceive him, like whatever, I don't know how the conversation goes or what you guys talk about or why you even met, but it's like you are like, wow, this person is well-rounded, he's open-minded, and he has traveled a lot, he's a very confident man, he's a very confident person, you know, woman or man. He seems to also be very passionate, like he has this seductive thing or aura about him, and you feel very drawn. Like I feel like right away you're like, wow, he is a grown man, like, because the king is like someone who really projects such a confidence and bravery, I'll say as well. And also a king of wands, I'll say, from all the kings, he is the one who's the most creative, who's the most artistic one as well, very resourceful, very imaginative with the solutions he can find within himself. And so I feel like this person could have like this very creative side of him. Like I don't know what he does as for a living, but you are like, wow, this person is, you know, this magical being. Now, on his side, it's really interesting because he perceives you as the high priestess. And so for him, it's like there's a couple things here, okay? Like when he looks at you or when he meets you for the first time, he gets this idea of you being very mysterious, being very mystical, I'll say, being very intuitive, very magical, but I will say very mysterious and maybe secretive as well. Like, I feel like you leave him feeling like, I need to know this person more. I want to know this person more. Because with the high priestess, it's like you are a closed book. You're not an open book. While a king of wands, I feel like he will be more open to tell you stories about his travels, the people he has met, all his experiences, while the high priestess is more like the kind of person that is waiting for for the person to show her their true color, so then she can assess what parts of her own person can she share, right? So that's why also the high priestess has this kind of higher knowledge, and because she does have that higher knowledge, she knows that she cannot share her entire personality with everyone, or not everyone is ready for that. Not everyone will appreciate every aspect of her person. And I feel like a high priestess really values who she is and her knowledge and her, like, she really sees herself as a valuable person, and so she's not going to be sharing her presence with anyone. And because of that, she doesn't share her secrets with everyone or like personal information with everyone. So I feel like he really gets that from you, of like, huh, this woman is very mysterious, very mystical, very magical. He might I don't know, maybe you have shared that you have, some powers or something like that. You could be a psychic, and he gets that vibe. Like, also another thing that they're telling me could be that you have a very Pisces presence about you, and so the way you dress, the way you like, yeah, the way you dress in a very mystical, dreamy way as well. If it's not mystical, it could be very dreamy, very Pisces like, which is Pisces is universal love, so you could think of more like hippie dresses or things like that, very feminine as well, but like mysterious in a way. So that is his impression about you, and I just feel also that he believes you to be very, very, very wise. Okay, so what is something that kind of like is uniting you two? This could give me a bit more details of also the way that you meet, or not, or what keeps you kind of in touch, right? Because sometimes we meet someone, but then it's like, why do we keep in touch? Is it because we have family members in common, friends, maybe we work together? This is very interesting because you guys have the moon and the eight of swords. Is it the eight of swords? Yeah. So you guys got the moon and the eight of swords, and this is all about like, going through struggle or having doubts about like a situation, and so it's like this is what it's uniting you to. So I feel like you might meet through a crisis. Let's say that you are in Mexico and there's an earthquake, because in Mexico City we have earthquakes like almost like every 2 months. Okay, like it's often, sometimes they're like like they're stronger than others, right? But let's say that you like there is an earthquake, and then you guys, you both are in panic mode in a way, or like emergency mode, and that is when you two meet and when you start talking. So with the moon, it's like, and the eight of swords could be something like that, like a situation that is hard. Okay, this is not about, oh my gosh, we were like at a party having fun and that's where I met her. No, no, no. It's like you met each other while handling a crisis or handling something that was tough or was hard. Something that could be scary as well. Okay, I feel like with the eight of swords, definitely I feel like it's like a situation that was scary for both of you, that was confusing, I'll say, that you felt definitely out of control. So this was not like work, or like I said, like a nice party. Like it could be at a party, but then at this party something happens, and that is what unites you two. Like that is what, this is why you talk to each other as well, right? I feel like, sometimes like you could be going to the same gym for like 2 years and you never dare to talk to that one person that you have a crush on. But then when something happens and you genuinely need help, like you ask for help and you're not thinking of like, oh my gosh, I don't want to talk to this cute guy. Like I feel like we completely forget about it, and I feel like this is what's happening. This is a situation that you feel out of control or you're scared about, or it's like very intimidating. And I don't know if one comes in to save the other, or it's just like because of this really uncomfortable, scary situation, you two kind of start chatting. Okay, so that is for the majority of you two. This is how it's gonna go. Now let's see, once that you actually get to know each other, what is the impression you have of each other? So this could be like once that you get to know each other a bit more, or also like once that you start like dating the other person. So that is the impression you have of him. And then what is the impression he has of you? Now, if you have made it to this point of the reading, remember to subscribe, to give it a like, to leave a comment. And also those that are interested in a private reading, you already know you can head to tarotbyfernanda.com and book a private reading with me. Okay, so for how you perceive this person, you got the Ace of Swords, and how this person, like your future boyfriend or girlfriend, perceives you, it's the Six of Wands. Okay, so it got caught there for a second, but like I was about to say, you know, when you initially meet someone, you have like an impression of that person, and then as you get to know them, like what strikes you the most of that person, it could change, right? And so I feel like once that you get to know this man or woman a bit more, initially you were like, this person is so hot, so passionate, so like life smart, so resourceful, so confident and brave. But now it's like what strikes you out the most is the Ace of Swords. So I feel like you think he's so eloquent when he speaks. You think he's so smart. He's so sharp as well. Like, I feel like it was giving me clear quartz energy, and that's actually what he got on his side, because it's like having a clear mind. I think that regardless of the situations he's in, you realize that your person is like can be very thorough and kind of take action, or it's not take action, can really think of things in the moment, even if he's caught by surprise. I also feel like he's someone, like you perceive him as someone who, like I said, is very eloquent when he speaks, the way he communicates, and you just think that he's very, very smart, and has as well, I feel like, a very expensive vocabulary. Now on his side, he perceives you as the Six of Wands. Okay, so it's interesting here, like he now starts seeing you as this very successful person. So remember, initially he was more like, oh, this person is very mysterious, maybe reserved, very intuitive, very magical. Seems also like a very loving, in the sense of like loving for the world, loving like nature, a nature's lover, or animal lover person. But now he's like, he gets to see this other side of you, of like someone who's very successful, someone who's very also on point on, or very like confident, and I guess as well committed to her purpose. I feel like as well, maybe, I don't know if you are a YouTuber, you could be an influencer, you could be someone who is very well loved and appreciated by others. So could be that in your neighborhood, like you are that one person that everyone knows that you do, like you support good causes, or like you are creating change, let's say, in your neighborhood. So then this person starts getting to know that, oh, like people around you really appreciate you, very like really applaud you, really look up to you. And so that's something that, like, he's realizing, like, okay, this woman or this man, whoever you are, it's like he is appreciated and loved by others. And I feel like this person also has success and gets attention from people. Like, it's just this person realizes that you get not like acknowledged by others very quick. It could be that your presence has this very like strong effect on others whenever you enter a room. I'm not getting like life of the party kind of person. It's more of like your presence never goes unnoticed. Okay, now let's look at how does your person inspire you. Okay, so what I mean by this is whenever we get close to someone, we somehow start getting inspired to change or focus our energy on a specific aspect of our lives. Sometimes it's like we look at, let's say, how authentic someone is, and we're like get inspired to be like that as well. So okay, when it comes to you, like when it comes to how you get inspired by him, right? In your next relationship. So with the Hierophant, I feel like it could be that this other person has like more conservative beliefs, right? Or maybe more religious, more traditional. Remember also the Hierophant represents this whole thing of maybe like someone's background. So if this person comes from Mexico, India, like I'm thinking of places that have like South America, right? They have very strong cultural background, and like they're very close to their family members and all of that. So it's like could be that because of this person's cultural background or religion or like where they come from, it's just like you feel inspired, and you feel inspired to be more traditional or more conservative, or like, or maybe not be more of that, but welcome it in your life, and you start seeing like the importance of those things. With the Hierophant as well, this is all about like, I feel like when you connect with that aspect of your life, it's usually as well like connecting with what is precious in life, what is worth it, what is like untouchable. So like that's why like even in movies where people are really really bad and doing really bad things, but they never touch family, let's say other people's family. And it's like because even in like the darkness, there's always like, if you know what is untouchable for you, if you know what's precious to you, then it's like you have like a moral compass to some level, right? So I feel like that is what inspiring you. Like when you look at him, when you look at your person, you're like, I'm inspired to be better, morally speaking. Okay, this is really like about religion, tradition, morals, values, what's worth for you, what's worth for you fighting, like what you think is good and bad. So you feel inspired to kind of have a better idea of like what is it that grounds me to this world. Because when we value things, right, when we value family, we value money, whatever it is that you decide to value, there's no right or wrong answer, but that way you already know how to better navigate life instead of just floating around and not believing in anything or not valuing anything necessarily. Another thing as well, for sure, I think that even if like you have never thought of marriage in the past, with the Hierophant, I feel like now you are being inspired to marry this person, or you're being inspired of taking life seriously, like the level of commitment to one another, to be like more serious about it. So it could be that in the past you have loved in the past, but you were never really truly thinking of like, I'm gonna actually marry this person, I'm actually want to have their kids. Like I maybe you were never like that kind of person, but I feel like now it's like you start being inspired to like think more traditionally. Okay, now when it comes to him, it's very interesting that you like, it's the Seven of Swords. And now that I'm seeing this Five of Cups on the bottom as well, this is interesting. I feel like maybe sometimes he's too transparent about everything, to the point that it can backfire. And I feel like you are teaching him, or like you're inspiring him to be smart, like smarter, because like when it comes to maybe answering questions, maybe when it comes to like navigating connections and relationships or family relationships, it's like um maybe you're also like inspiring him to be more discreet about things, because with this Seven of Swords is like doing things in the shadow. And I'm really getting like a good feeling like this is a good thing for you, for him or for her, for your person. So it's not like you're teaching him to lie, it's more about like you're teaching him that not everything has to be said to everyone or told to everyone right away. Like sometimes you have to keep things to yourself. Sometimes you do have to keep secrets or things more secret. let's say like if you two are having an argument, like he shouldn't go and tell you his dad, his mom, his sisters all about it. And it's like I feel like you inspire him to be smarter when it comes to how he goes about the information he shares. Another thing too, I feel like you have also kind of made him realize that sometimes he does things with the best intentions, but they look bad. And so you kind of are teaching him when it's okay to kind of show your intentions and make them clear, because otherwise a lot of things could look really bad. And what I mean by this is like, let's say that your person is someone who really genuinely wants to help everyone, and then one of his exes comes into his life and is like, hey, I need your help. And it's like maybe he's helping her and out of his like his the bottom of his heart, and he's being very like no feelings attached. But like you have made him realize that there's a difference between like doing good things and doing things that look bad even though they're good. And so like the difference of it and the impact it could have in your relationship or just in general. So maybe he's like a type of way that sometimes he does not realize that the way he does things could look really bad. And so I feel like you have made him be more aware of that, and for him to be like more careful, because sometimes people like this, even though they have good intentions, they can get into a lot of trouble because whatever they do is really bad and they get into trouble because of it, right? Okay, one thing that he admires the most about you, one of the many things, and one thing that you admire most about him, and one thing that he admires most about you. So one thing that you admire most about him for like in this relationship will be the strength. And this is like Leo energy, and I feel like once again there's another fire sign coming in here, and I feel like this your person may very well be an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, okay? I feel like you really admire his strength. He has a very creative side, very passionate side of himself. I also feel like the strength also talks about this sexual force in him. So I feel like sexually speaking as well, there is a lot of chemistry, but you feel like wow, like he knows how to do everything you want him to do. Like he knows, and he does it like with confidence as well. And with the strength as well, it's not only about like the physical aspect of it. It's also like this creative, this like someone who shows their strength and they adjust it to every environment. So usually this card does represent that. It's not like the physical strength. It's more about being able to adjust that based on the environment you're in. So it's like your partner won't be fighting with someone verbally if he knows that it's not gonna get him anywhere. He may just be like very nice to someone, or may like play jokes because he knows that that's what's gonna work with this person. Like he's capable of adjusting his way of being with in every situation. And this card also really means when like you admire the fact that he doesn't need to always be the top guy or the alpha guy. Like I said, strengths are like can be in different shapes, and so sometimes it takes a lot of strength to instead let someone win rather than you winning. But that took strength, right? So I feel like that's one thing that you really admire of him. And also this energy really talks about like a special connection with animals as well. So I feel like your person could really have a special connection with like dogs, cats, animals in general. Be very gentle as well, be very patient with them as well, or have like a special connection with animals just in general. And now one thing that he really admires about you, or she really admires about you, this Two of Wands, it's your open mind. Like I feel like I even feel like he may have struggled in the past finding someone with that quality of like being very open-minded. And the Two of Wands, I just want to clarify that it's not about like indecision whatsoever. Wands, like I said, is always about being passionate about what you care about. Like it's all about purpose as well, it's all about that inner fire. So the two of Wands, it's like being always open to your life looking different from what it is at the moment, right? So what he admires is that you are open for your plans as a couple to change through time. And I don't mean like the status of a couple to a friendship. I mean like maybe traveling, right? Maybe what if he's someone who really loves to travel. I also feel like he appreciates that open-mindedness because of his family and his background. I feel like he perceives you as someone that is non-judgmental, that it like very much welcomes new perspective, new people, like that. Because let's be real, there's a lot of people that are not like that, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, because that is very different from racism. Not being open to different people from you, I feel like that is not racism. There's people that they're not interested to know about other people's cultures or languages or like traditions, because they're just okay with their own, and that's fine too. And I feel like he really appreciates that you are open and that you're have interest to learn about new things and to get to know different people, and that he feels like any idea that he throws at you, like you will not just say no, like you will genuinely think about it. Yeah. Okay. And so to end this reading, I'm just gonna give you some like characteristics of his personality even more, so you're capable of like of identifying that person when he comes across your path. Okay. So there's a Three of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, the World. So definitely he is a traveler. Okay. He is someone who loves to travel, who, and if he hasn't traveled much, I feel like he knows a lot about different countries. Like sometimes people don't travel, but they travel through books or movies, or like they know a lot of information or different languages as well. So I feel like he either speaks more than one language, he has traveled, or he's from a different country. With this Nine of Wands and the Three of Pentacles as well, I feel like he is good working in teams. He's someone who is capable of supporting someone else's in their work as well, in at their job, in like a project, even if he's not getting like the acknowledgement. He's fine with that. And I feel like he is someone also that is capable of working in a project or into something and being okay with it to advance slowly. So yeah. There's also this thing about him not giving up with this Nine of Wands. Like even when things get hard, he's not the kind of person that gives up. He, even when he's hurt, even when he gets hurt, I find, even when he gets disappointed. And oh, they're telling me as well with this Nine of Wands, it's like he's not the kind of person that lashes out because he's mad or because he is hurt. So let's say, sometimes someone can be very nice, but the second that you hurt their feelings, which is normal, like they get very unpleasant. I'm not saying that them getting unpleasant is normal, but we need to understand that no one is perfect, and a lot of people, majority of people, when they're not happy, when they're very hungry or something like that, they get very unpleasant, right? And they give attitude and all of that. For him, with this Nine of Wands, I feel like even when he is in a very uncomfortable, unpleasant situations, even when he has been disappointed, I feel like he keeps holding the fort. And this, you may see it even with his family members or like family ties, friendships, that you could be like, okay, but they have done so much bad stuff to you, or maybe not bad stuff, they have let you down so many times, like they didn't end up paying you back. Why are you still supporting them? And he will be, because they're my family. Like I feel like with the Nine of Wands, it's like once that he makes that decision, even if he knows that he is betting on the wrong horse, like he will not give up. because he has this faith inside of him that he felt like this bet was worth it, even if he were to be losing it. So it's like really like that soldier that, is the only one left around. He knows that the war is gonna be lost, but he doesn't abandon his post. And that's him. And so I just feel like he has a lot of resilience, this person, okay? And now there's also this Queen of Pentacles, and this is really interesting to come out here because I feel like with this already, this King of Wands, it tells me that he's the kind of person that prioritizes what is authentic for him. And usually you don't see much someone who's very passionate and authentic and on purpose, and at the same time someone who prioritizes practicality, like abundance, financial abundance, and or financial stability. So I feel like this person is also financially stable, I will say. I wouldn't say rich. I feel like he has really like a really good plan set already, has stability, and is planning ahead, and has really good investments that he knows are going to end up paying off. I would also say that this person feels like someone who is more conservative. They're telling me for some of you, this person, even if he doesn't have, when you meet him or her, like much money, you can tell right away that the project he or she's working on is gonna make him a lot of money. So maybe when you meet him, let's say he's like, oh, I'm a baker. Let's say that he's like, I'm a baker, right? And like, I literally just started last year, but within a year, I went from making this to this much. And it's not much, but you already know that if the growth keeps going like this, literally 3 years from now, he will be freaking rich, right? So it's like, they're telling me that you will be able to also tell that this person has a lot of potential and is going to go very far. And like I said, he is, I feel like, also more traditional, maybe more conservative, has like this cultural background. And let's see. I'm going to give you some letters just to... of your person. Now, don't close yourself to anyone that may have different initials, but just, in case that you already met this person recently, or you're meeting this person very soon, this could also help you to kind of confirm that feeling. So there's a letter Q. Q is in Quint, as in queen, okay? Then O as in Omar or Oscar, Z as in Zoo, as in Zach, I as in India or Indigo, R as in Robert. Okay, so those are the initials that they're giving me. I do hope that this reading, was is useful to you, that you enjoy this reading. Do remember again that if you want a private reading, you can just go to tarotbyfernanda.com. Also, remember to leave a comment, to give it a like, to support the channel for it to keep growing, and for this video to get to reach more people. Okay, I'll see you in the next pick a card. Bye. Hi there, pile number 2, and welcome to your reading. Now, I'm Fernanda. I'm the one behind all the pick-up cards that you can find in this YouTube channel. Now, you're here because you picked this card, so I'm gonna be using this beautiful deck for your reading. Now, this deck, I'm already telling you, you may not see the images as clear as I will, because this deck specifically is beautiful, but it's like watercolors, so it's not like the colors are not as strong and visible as, let's say, a card like this. Okay, so that said, let's start with your reading. I also wanted to clarify, like I said in the intro, this is a reading that really focuses on your next true, committed, exclusive romantic relationship. This is not about like friends with benefits or a situationship, nothing like that. Okay, let's start with your current energy when you meet that person versus what is his current energy when he meets you. And I'm going to be saying a lot of like he, because at the end of the day, majority of you guys are women, but you already know that you apply whatever description I'm giving as an energy and you apply it to your person, okay? So let's see what is your current energy when, or what's going on in your life, or what's your energy like, your personality like when you meet this person. Ooh, so I see Temperance and the Two of Wands. So already I feel like you are at a point in your life that you are really being guided by your angels, by divine guidance, divine beings in your life. And I feel like with the Two of Wands is there are a couple of things that you have, like you already know that you want to have in your life or to do in your life, but maybe the perfect timing hasn't yet hasn't come yet, right? And so with Temperance is always about like you're kind of giving up the will to God, and you're like, you drive my life and you drive, like I will be very attentive to the signs, so you tell me where to go, right or left. And with the Two of Wands as well, I feel like you're very open-minded, okay, at that moment of your life. So maybe that's not how you feel right now, but like right before you meet this person, it's like you really are open-minded. You're looking also of like, what is the next goal that I'm going to prioritize? Because with the Two of Wands and mainly with you, like what I'm channeling is that you are at a point in your life that you have clarity on a lot of things that you would like to do. Like let's say travel to Australia, open your own business, change careers, let's say. And it's like you are at a point in your life in which you're like, which one am I going to prioritize? I'm going to leave it up to you, God, to tell me which one is the next one for me. And I feel like that is the stage where you're at. Some of you could be experiencing this stage a bit differently because I feel like sometimes with Temperance, it tells you that although you want to do things, you feel like the right environment is not there yet. And you try to fight it a little bit. So let's say that you have tried so much to like date, right? To find a relationship through apps, through dating apps, let's say, and it's like every single date has been so bad, and you like low-key know that you have been protected because the right person is waiting for you, but it's like you keep trying regardless. But Temperance, that energy is like it makes it very clear that no matter how much you try, you're being like put in like this invisible bubble in which if something is not meant for you, you're at a stage of life that you will not be able to force it, okay? So I feel like maybe some of you could also have been for some time already single, or like waiting for something to happen. Now with your person, Page of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. This is interesting. So it's interesting because it's very different, like it's two very different energies, and I feel it's because they're not necessarily both talking about like dating. So when it comes to like romantic life, your person is like probably dating, or like on dating apps, like is in the mood of like meeting people. But I feel like more like meeting people casually. I won't say that it's like meeting people casually like just to sleep with them, or like friends with benefits. That's not the feeling I'm getting. It's more that like with the Ten of Pentacles, it's like this person definitely is looking or has this idea of like, I do need to find my wife or my husband, right? But at the same time, with the Page of Cups, I feel like he's not being too serious about it in his process right now. He's just kind of in a stage in where he wants to meet new people, have fun, experience new things, and like go to social events and like meet a lot of new people. So that's and I feel like he feels very comfortable meeting new people. Yeah. Also, I feel like this person, like your person, um, right before you meet, like he's prioritizing as well a lot his wealth, or his goals that are more financially driven, like, okay, I want to buy an apartment, I want this, I want that. And so the dating, I feel like he understands that he wants that, because also at some point maybe he wants it as, for like his own family, like he wants a house where he can live with his future wife. But I feel like that is very clear in his mind, but when he's dating, he's not dating with intent in that sense, yet. Okay, so that is like your, like, each one's energy when it comes to like right before you meet. But now we're gonna look at, once that you meet someone, what is your first impression? Sorry, I have like everything written over here. So what is your first impression of him, and what is his first impression of you? So let's see, what is your first impression of him, and what is his first impression of you? So regardless of how you two meet, is like how, like, it's like that image you're left with. So you have this Seven of Pentacles, so that's how you perceive him after like meeting him for the first time. And then that's how he perceives you with this Six of Cups. Oh, this is cute. So definitely, okay, I feel like on most of the decks, the Seven of Coins does portray someone who is very patient and hardworking, but I'm getting a different feeling with this Seven of Pentacles, because I feel like this fox or this wolf looks a little bit sad and looks a little bit impatient, and I feel like that's how you perceive him, like, oh, one second, I'm back. One of my dogs were like doing something they shouldn't. Okay, so I'm just getting this sense of this person being like, you get the impression of your person being impatient, feeling like they're not in the situation they want to financially. I feel like you perceive him as someone who's very ambitious and that is impatient to get there. I don't know what you guys like talk about or why you get this idea, but like from whatever you guys talk about or whatever he said or the way he said it, it's like you get this idea that this person is kind of at a point where he is very impatient at this point and bored as well, and I guess is like very focused on anything that has to do with material things, and very focused on like how he can get them, like how he can get them to grow, like his, I guess, his finances, his investments. Now when it comes to, and also another thing, I feel like you get this perception of him being very practical and, like I said, money driven. Now when it comes to his perception of you, it was this Six of Cups, and this is like a very loving person. You know what, I feel like for some of you, like very few of you, you could already know this person, because his perception about you is like of someone, like you remind him of someone he already met in the past. This could be that you actually already know him and he's like, oh, I remember like who you used to be when you were younger, and I feel like you're still the same person, like you're so loving. It's like, you know, when you see someone and you realize, you're like, wow, this person hasn't changed, but like in a good way, like, wow, this person keeps being so nice even after all these years, or is still so sweet and pure even after all these years, or like, you know, you're like, you were the girl next door, and like he remembers all like the good memories you guys had, and it's like it feels like home. So if you don't know this person, it's like it's more about like you remind him of home, or like you remind him of something really good, something that makes him feel good about himself or safe. He feels like you are such a loving, sweet person, and I will say also caring, and like, yeah, I just feel like he feels like you're a good person, but a very loving person as well. Okay, let's see. Once that you get to know each other, well, not yet. Actually, let's first know what kind of brings you together, because this could tell me a little bit of like how you end up meeting each other. So what brings you together? Okay, so Ace of Pentacles and the Three of Wands. So for some of you, this definitely could be through work or through a job opportunity for sure. So with this Ace of Coins, this is something more earthy. So this has something to do with this three-dimensional world. So for sure could be like a job, like through your career, through like an opportunity that brings money. So, and with this Three of Wands, I feel like this opportunity or like this setting is something new for at least one of you. If not both of you, it's like at least one of you. So like I said, if it were to be like a new job for you, he's already in that job, right? But for you, it's something new, and he's like that one person that maybe you connect with at your new job. I also feel like this has something to do with like the way that you make money, or like this could also be like, let's say that you are like part of a church and you guys have to like bring together like all your efforts and like collect money, right? So money is involved here, or like some type of currency is involved here. So it's like because you guys have to be put into groups and start selling stuff or things like that. Through that is how you meet this person, okay? Yeah. For some of you, adventure could be like one thing, that the type of environment that sets you like to like that brings you two together. Could be that both of you are at a stage of like a new, like about to make a new investment or something like that. Make a new commitment to a trip or something new, and like that's why that you two meet. Okay. So now, what is your impression once that you guys have met each other and have known each other for a bit? Okay, could be that you guys are already dating by then, or like sometimes like people date like within a couple of weeks of meeting for like the first time, while other people could meet once and then they don't start dating until like 6 months in, or even years later, right? So, what is impression that you each have of like you have of each other after have known each other for some time, whether you're dating yet or not? Okay, Strength and the Five of Pentacles. Interesting. So for you, like when it comes to how you perceive him, or how you perceive him, there's the Strength card, and then how he perceives you, it's this Five of Pentacles with this Queen of Cups on the bottom. Okay, so definitely I feel like once that you get to know this person even more, you realize how strong he is, how resilient he is, how like creative he is, how passionate he is about any topics. But I'm getting here like it's interesting because the Strength card came out on the last reading, but I'm getting a different like a different feeling from this kind of energy, because I feel like I get it more from like resilience more than creative and artistic. I get it more for like you realize how resilient he is, how he never gives up, how confident he is, how bold he is as well. And when it comes to like to how he perceives you, it's interesting, this Five of Pentacles with the Queen of Cups on the bottom, and I feel like he realizes that you don't take care of yourself as much, And what I mean by that, I'm not saying like physically speaking, but although I feel like could also be that you're not like, you don't take care of your health, or maybe you are dealing with something specific, so he now is aware of that, like, oh, you deal with this, right? But for majority of you, I feel like he feels like your person realizes that you love so deeply with this Queen of Cups on the bottom, that you kind of give more than what you can afford to give, whether it's emotionally or if it's like, like doing favors for someone, like, and you're giving out too many resources, like emotionally. Like emotionally, I will say like energy, even when you don't have energy anymore to give, you still give, like you're very present. Your time, maybe sometimes you don't even have time to give, and yet you give it, like even if you're left with nothing, and with money as well. So he realizes that it's like you give way more than you can, and so you put yourself in a very difficult situation, and you do that because you are a very loving person, very empathetic. But I feel like he realizes that you give even more than what you can. Some of you could actually like have like a animal shelter, let's say, or rescue dogs, rescue, and it's like he realizes that, wait, you could have money because you make money, but you are left with nothing because you give it away, right? It's like, but I love to see the Queen of Cups on the bottom, and actually there's right after the Queen of Cups, there's the Six of Pentacles as well. So 100%, I feel like you have such a big heart, and he sees that, but he realizes, wow, you are being pushed around sometimes by people too, or you're being abused, or you're being like taken advantage, or you're being left with nothing, and because you give way too much. So he, like, that's also kind of the impression he gets after he gets to know you for a bit longer. Because see how in the beginning he sees you as a very loving, caring person, and then he realizes, oops, like this person, she's very loving and caring, but at the same time, like, she kind of pushes herself to the limit, or she lets people push her to the limit. Now, let's see how each other inspire, like, in like, when you're dating someone, you get inspired by the other person. So let's see, what is he inspiring you to be or doing differently, and same thing for him. Oh, so okay, so he inspires you with the Death card. It's like he inspires you to change. He inspires you to cut ties. So because death is all about like, transformation, and to also like transformation within, and like becoming a different, not a different person, like making peace with your past and not letting it hold you back, and then being capable of going deeper into like who you are as a person, what you want to be, and then allowing yourself to transform and change to that new person. Okay. And so I feel like I really feel like your person is a very more like driven, confident, brave. And so I feel like he inspires you to make some radical changes in your life. Also, I feel like he could help you with detaching yourself from situations from the past that you couldn't before, or like maybe he is helping you through all loss, right? A physical loss, so that could be like a family member or someone you really care for. And when it comes to like what you inspire him, or like how you're inspiring him, there's a Two of Cups. And this is like, I'm not surprised by this, because it just seems like you are such a loving, empathetic person, and you are a giver. And with the Two of Cups, okay, Two of Cups is of course a soulmate loving kind of energy, but at the same time, the frequency of the number two, it's all about harmony, it's all about teamwork. And I feel like you are inspiring him to be more of a team player, to be more about helping others, to be there for others, of like, I'm gonna fill your cup and you're gonna fill my cup, right? Of like, maybe he was more of like someone that only thinks of himself, or more selfish, could be, but like you are inspiring him to show love, to care, to be there for others, to also be capable of connecting at a deeper level, okay? Because I feel like he inspires you to put an end to certain situations and allow yourself and give yourself permission to be a different person, the one that is most authentic to the way you think now. And you are giving him permission and inspiring him to be vulnerable, connect with others at a deeper emotional level, and care for others. Have like this partnership, right? And I feel like also, like I said, I feel like in his mind he wasn't as serious about dating. And with the Two of Cups, I just feel like you inspire him to really go in deeper and like be more willing of this whole meant to be soul like twin like soulmate, to believe in those things and like allow himself to be less skeptical about finding the right person. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and they're also telling me about like you inspire him to believe of like exclusivity as well. Okay, now let's see what is one thing that you admire the most about this person, and then one thing that he will be admiring most about you. Okay, so you admire most about him is one of the things that you admire the most is the Two of Swords, and one thing that he admires the most about you, or your person admires most about you, is the Five of Swords. So and like I feel like you admire the fact that he won't take, like he won't rush on any decision. That I feel like he's not necessarily the kind of person that will be asking everyone what you think, what are you thinking, like what do you think I should do. Like he's not like that. But and so he takes his own decisions, but I feel like he could be patient enough before he takes an important decision. And I feel like you admire that. You admire how he sits with the information he has and he kind of meditates on it before making a decision. So the fact that he doesn't rush and the fact that he likes to use his gut feeling to take a decision, that is something that not everyone does. And I feel like you admire that about him. What he admires most about you, I feel, is like by the time you guys are dating, I feel like he you have like really good eye for people that have no good feelings for you. Like you have a good eye, like the people that you love, you give everything, but it's like he realizes pretty quick that you know when someone has bad intentions, and you're very straightforward about that. I don't think necessarily that you fight them. It's more that for you it's clear who your enemies are, or who are the people that are not wishing you the best and are giving you the evil eye. And he admires that about you. Like you can tell right away. And okay, so before we end this reading, what is left is actually I'm gonna give you a little bit more about his personality, and so you can recognize this person when he comes into your life. And then I'm also going to give you some initials, so you can some of his or her initials, so you can recognize him as well when you two crosses path. Okay. So there's a Five of Cups, Seven of Cups, the Lovers, and the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like this person definitely has had some bad experiences in the past. And I feel like that's why I was feeling he was a bit more skeptical. Because and he's not necessarily in the beginning was looking for something serious, because he may have like had, like I said, bad experiences. It doesn't mean that it was like right before you two start dating, could be a long time ago, but it's like those experiences kind of he holds on to them. Okay. And I feel like he also, when you meet him, you perceive him as someone very indecisive. Like I said, I feel like he is not necessarily in the beginning looking to settle down with someone, because he likes the idea of having a lot of options, or maybe going to social events and feel like he can still like talk to other people. So there's that side of him right when you meet him, okay? But this is important. Like, I'm not saying he stays that way, but this is important so you recognize him when you're meeting him. And then there's also the Lovers and the Queen of Pentacles. And this is interesting because I feel like he was allowing past experiences really to hold him back on what he really wanted, like in life. But with the Lovers and the Queen of Pentacles, it's like at the end of the day, he is a romantic. He is someone who would like do a lot for love. He's someone who is more traditional after all, and his focus is definitely on money and like gaining that stability, and he has like a 5-year plan or like a 10-year plan. So I really see that this person does want to get married one day. Like, there are people that fool around, but they know that they do want a wife and they do want kids and they do want that house. And there's people that fool around and they don't want any of that. But so I just feel like when you meet him, he's very casual about things. But I feel like it's more because of his insecurities at that moment, at that point of his life. But he is someone whose goals are more traditional, I would say. Now, I'm gonna give you, he could also be a Gemini, okay? I'm getting like Gemini vibes here. So I'm gonna give you 5 initials that could be his initials, okay? So the letter L as in Luisa, the letter D as in David, the letter A as in Alexa, the letter G as in Gabriela, and the letter N as in November. Okay, so those are the 5 initials that they're giving me right now. Also, thank you so much for making it to the very end. Remember to give it a like, to subscribe, to leave a comment if you want to support the channel. And if you ever wish to have a private reading, if you ever have like very important questions that you want answered by a professional tarot reader, then you can just head to tarotbyfernanda.com and book your own reading. Okay, I'll see you on the next pick a card. Bye. Hi there, pile number 3, and welcome to your reading. I'm Fernanda. I'm the tarot reader behind all the pick-up cards that you can find in this YouTube channel. Now, let's start with your reading. You're here because you picked this beautiful, beautiful card. Now, so I'm going to be using this deck. And I want to remind you once again that this reading really focuses on your next exclusive, romantic, committed relationship. Okay, this is not about like friends with benefits or like a situationship, none of that. Okay, so let's see what's going on with you and with your person right before you meet each other. So this reading will be very much like you versus him. So what you like most about this person, what impression you get from this person the first time you meet, etc. And I'm gonna be like giving you both sides of the coin, so that way it's easier for you also to identify this person when you meet him or her. And yeah, so let's start with your reading. So right when you meet this person, your energy, or like right before you meet this person, you have this 5 of Cups representing you. So some of you could be in a relationship and you pick this pile. I'm seeing this because this 5 of Cups tells me that you're going through a stage in your life where you feel sad, regretful, emotionally regretful about something, about the past, about your love life. You feel like you wish things could be different. You feel very nostalgic about emotional topics, could be romantic topics. So maybe this is why I'm saying maybe you are already in a relationship right now and you're wondering about your next relationship. You could be single, right? And then meet someone and then it doesn't necessarily work out. And I just feel with this 5 of Cups, it's like, I feel like you, in that moment of life, you're dwelling on the past, your past romantic experiences or your past romantic decisions. I also feel like you could be at a point in your life that you feel that you're not being lucky in love. Okay, or like that you don't have that many people that love you or that care about you, and like you are letting that, like that belief drag you down. I'm not saying that that's true, but it's just like that belief like drag you down a bit. And the thing is, when you meet your like this next person as well, your person's energy is kind of somewhere in there too, but I won't say that it's like love related. With temptation, this actually represents the devil. So it's like both of you, that may explain like when you connect or why you feel like you have things in common at that moment. Because remember, and this is why like my readings are very straightforward, very honest, and also there's a bit of like therapy in there all the time. So you do know that when you click with someone, is because there's something in them that you feel it's familiar to you. So if you are hurting, right, sometimes you could be connecting with someone who is hurting as well. And so with temptation here, it's like your person is letting himself go a bit too much, in the sense of like with things that are unhealthy for him. Could be like, it's like with the devil, it's always things, it's too much intensity, but you know that everything in excess is bad, right? So it's like he is being excessive in some area of his life. And with the devil as well, as I feel like he is letting those things that he really likes to do or really likes to ingest or whatever it is get the best of him. And with the devil as well, is like you're thinking too much in the present moment rather than your future, and you sometimes are waging your future because you want a good time in your present. And I feel like the devil as well could be like someone that at that moment could put himself or herself in dangerous situations, because they don't care about life, they don't care about things, they just care about feeling like an intensity, like feeling deeply. But the thing is, when the devil comes as well, is like we are just looking for pleasure, not actually feeling deeply, because feeling deeply can sometimes make us feel uncomfortable, but feeling intensity, it's very different. Feeling pleasure is just, it's good the entire time. So I feel like you two are not necessarily at like the same stage in life, but it's just that I can already imagine why you two connect at that moment. Okay, so let's get to what is your first impression of your future like partner, and what was his or her first impression of you. Okay, so what was your first impression when you meet him? What is the impression you get of him or her? Okay, the Queen of Staves and the Two of Coins. And then what is the first impression he or she gets of you? Okay, so here you go. So you perceive your person, this is the image you get from your person from after like meeting him once. It's the Two of Coins and the Queen of Wands. So you feel like, physically speaking, you feel like he is a very attractive person, okay? You believe him to be or her being very confident, very magnetic. I will say like very, very magnetic in his way of like the way he is. And I also feel like you realize that he's someone that can get a lot of attention as well. Now with this Two of Coins, I feel like he's busy, but I'm getting more the sense that you are pretty smart, and you can tell this person, like you can tell your future partner, but before he's your future partner, right? Before he's your partner, you can tell that he kind of is handling too many things in life at the same time. And so that can already tell you that he cannot give himself 100% in anything because he's spread too thin sometimes, like he spreads himself too thin. So it's like when you meet someone and that person tells you that, oh, I have like gym or yoga class in the morning, and then I have work, and then I have my I have like this meeting with my kids teacher, let's say, and then I have to go pick up blah 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 blah, and you're like, okay, and you see that his life is really busy, and you're like, you can only imagine how thin he's spreading himself. So by default, when you spread yourself very thin, you are not giving your best version to anything. That's why, like, I have this saying of like, you can be anything you want, just not at the same time. Okay, and it's just the truth. You cannot be the best employee ever while you're at the same time, like, you cannot be that one person that is giving her like 120% at work because they expect you to actually stay very late and also be the best mother you could be, because it needs presence, and like everything that you commit to will be asking you to be present, to be there, and so it's impossible to be the best at everything at the same time. So the Two of Coins is definitely someone that's trying to, at least, that is trying to move pretty fast in life as well. Like, something I see in here with Two of Coins is always like someone that is handling too many things at the same time. Could be for different reasons, but I'm feeling like your person's reasons is more about getting ahead of life the fastest, as fast as he can, right? Or as fast as she can. Now, yeah, you feel like this person got his hands full. Now, but he organizes pretty well his time. He's very resourceful. Now, the impression that your person gets of you the first time that, he meets you, with this Three of Wands, I feel like you are kind of an adventurer. Like, you love adventure. You are also confident. I feel like you are willing to take risk. I feel like you are fun and excited. Like, you're someone that portrays and kind of projects that image of like someone who is willing to push their limits, who's confident to try new things, that is open-minded for new things in life. It really, like, also feel like whatever you two talk about, I feel like he gets a clear idea that you are ready, or want to at least, to do differently in love, that you want to change your life romantically speaking as well, that you are kind of willing to move on from whatever definition of love you had in the past, and that you're ready to move on to like your new definition of love. And yeah, I feel like he really gets the sense, like, I don't know if it's because the first time that you two meet is over a date or what, because I really get the sense that he gets it very clear, like, you want to move on from any romantic drama that you had in the past. So maybe you two, I don't know, met over a first date. Let's see, what is it, something that is connecting you two when you meet? And this could also say a lot about the way you actually meet each other. You got fertility, which is the Empress, and the Seven of Staves. And on the bottom, you got awakening as well, which is the Sun. Okay, this is interesting. Because this is interesting because they're not telling me like maybe something like a specific of like how you two met. It's more of your goals, or like what connects you, what is the connection between you two. And I think that both of you want to change the way, like, want to change things. With the Seven of Wands, it's like both of you are having like this fight against something or within yourself. So this could be like very well that you two meet at like could be like a ACC meeting, but I'm not really thinking like that. I feel like could be like you two meet at the your psychiatrist's office or psychologist's office, or something that it's just, I feel like you two are putting a fight against something. You two are protecting yourself against something, trying to change your ways, trying to be better, trying to find like peace of mind, peace within. And that's true, that like that is connecting you too. So maybe you meet through like something like that. Another thing too is like you two could be like within the same industry or kind of successful people, or you have achieved something, you have something that other people want as well. And so that is like someone is trying to get that from you, and so you're protecting yourself and you bond over that, over like that fighting thing. And with fertility, this is really interesting. I was not like I was not necessarily expecting this, but I really feel like there are a couple things here. You too, I feel like you want to from grow out, like grow from the environment you both are. Like you want to grow out, and you want to create like beauty in your world, in your life. And I feel like both of you may have had like backgrounds where that you didn't like your parents maybe. And I just feel like you two really connect over the fact that you want to be different, you want to raise kids in a different setting, in a different environment, in a very different way. And that's how you two also connect over that, whether you don't have a conversation about it like right away. It's just that subconsciously, like this is what I was explaining, sometimes we connect with someone and we don't understand why, because they have completely different personality, but maybe both of you had parents that were very strict, and you both of you want to raise your kids in a very similar way, so you connect over that, maybe not in a conscious level but at a subconscious level. Okay. Let's see. Okay, once that you two know each other, like what is the impression, or what do you think about your person and what does he think about you? Like once that you get to know him better, whether it's like you're already in the relationship, or sometimes it takes like longer to even be in like in a relationship. So you could be knowing this person for like 3 months and already getting a better idea of who this person is, and yet not still being like official. Huh. So you perceive him as the 7 of Swords, and he perceives you, or she perceives you, as his 5 of Swords. So I will be straightforward with you on this, okay? Because you pick this pile and all my readings are very, very, very honest. I definitely can tell that you two will have issues in your connection, because I feel like this is a very passionate relationship, but with a lot of ups and downs. And you perceive him as someone who is very sketchy and cannot tell you the truth. Like you feel like he's never telling you the whole truth. He may sometimes be doing things that are good, but that look bad. You know, like sometimes it's like, no, truly, like I was giving a ride to my coworker because she got into a fight with a partner and she literally had no money for an Uber, so I ended up driving her, let's say. And you're like, okay, I get it. That's a really nice thing to do, because I would love for someone to do that for me. But you could have just paid her the Uber and not have had to drive her home at like midnight, right? And then stay with her in the car and chatting. Like you could have also told me about it. So I just feel like you feel like he hides a lot of things, that he also gives you half truths. I wouldn't necessarily say that you feel like he cheats. It's just that I'm getting vibes of someone who doesn't like explain things or tell you things right away, and he ends up telling you things later, and that really gets to you and that really gets you upset. And I feel like you realize that he's someone also that you feel like you cannot rely on him 100%, okay? You feel like when you really need him, like he's not necessarily there for you. And yeah, that's what I'm getting. And I also just want to take a second to say that I know that this may sound like a bit disappointing of like I don't want this relationship, and you could 100% change your future because now you know about maybe a dynamic that you don't want, and so you could also kind of make things very clear from the beginning whenever you meet anyone. On his side, I feel like he feels that you're always looking for a fight. Like he feels like you are someone who doesn't have the tools to navigate conflict very well, and so you're always like looking for enemies in trouble. And I feel like at the same time there's a lot of miscommunication. So my advice, like this is personal advice, work on your communication skills and work on like how like set rules on how to handle conflict, because on your side you feel like he doesn't say things straight up and right away, and that really bothers you because it's like he doesn't tell you the whole truth. And on his side, it's like he feels like you are a very loving, caring person, but you just lose your temper so much whenever it comes to arguments, whenever it comes to like not disagreeing on things. And he just also feels like even when he tries to be there for you, like you are very like just looking for conflict, and you're just looking for enemies that do not exist. That's his perception, okay? And this could be also like you could be like not dating yet and you're already getting this perception of each other. So this could also be like a fear that you have before you date him because you feel like he is a bit sketchy with the things that he tells you, and he can already tell like okay, she's gonna be like kind of difficult to handle because she looks for like she makes conversations a very big argument. Okay, now let's see. Let's now kind of focus on like the good side of things as well. So, what is something that he will be inspiring you once that you're dating? What is one thing, good thing that he inspires you to do, or to stop doing? Okay, Two of Staves. And what about him? Okay. Perfect. So 100%, I mean you two are like good influence on each other in a lot of things. For you it's like he inspires you to be more bold, more confident, be more open-minded as well. And with the Two of Wands it's like kind of sometimes we have like this one way that we envision our life, and the Two of Wands is like telling it's usually someone who is flexible and adaptable and is open to new ways. So let's say that you have always wanted to go to Australia, like you have always wanted to move to Australia, but you're open-minded, and so at some point you learned about this other country, Spain, let's say, and you were like, you know what, I know I've always wanted to go to Australia, but now I feel like maybe I'm open to move to Spain. So I feel like when you're presented with an idea that is different from what you thought was like represented you are the kind of person, you have become the kind of person that is open to it, open to the possibility. So that is something that got you, like that's a change that happened to you thanks to your partner, okay? Being more open-minded and kind of also because I feel like sometimes we already know what we want, and so we're very close to any other options. When it comes to him, you have very like your influence has been so good in the sense in the aspect of work and consistency. So I feel like you have influenced him to have a better job, I will say, to look for a more healthy work environment as well. And I say that because of the Six of Swords. It's like maybe he was at a, like he was working for someone that was not treating him well, or that was not being nice to him or her, and like you really push him to make that change that is for the best, okay? Or take that risk that will put him in a better position at his workplace as well. And I really feel like this is all about consistency as well. Maybe he was someone who would always be changing jobs, who would always be blaming others because of the trouble he will get in at his workplace. And I feel like you have taught him to be more reliable, to be more committed, to be more persistent and resilient at workplace, because I feel like maybe he's someone that is, like I said, a bit more impatient and want things like quicker. But yeah. Okay. And what is one thing that you admire the most about him? And what is one thing that he admires the most about you? Mm. Oh. So one thing that you admire the most about him, so those are three, I just want one. It's the Ten of Cups. And I do feel like he can be a very loving person, but I also think that the way he is around his family, it's what you admire the most about him. And I feel like I get this feeling that you know he's going to be a really good dad, or you know that he, at the end of the day, because you two have visions of life, of like what a family should be like, that are very similar. I feel like that is what you admire the most about him. Like, you know that he will be a really, really good dad. And you admire how he treats his family members, how close he is to them, maybe how he like shows love, how he's there for them. And then what he admires the most about you, it's the world. I really feel like, okay, there's a couple of things here. I feel like he really likes how you make him feel, like you uplift him and you are capable of uplifting people and like giving a second chance. And I really feel like as well, like he feels like you are such a resilient person, and you're someone who is capable of like, uh what's this saying, like when you close a chapter and you open a new one. I feel like you are very, very, very open-minded, and he admires that, like he very much admires that about you. And this ambition, but it's not a monetary ambition, it's not a financial ambition what you have. It's ambition of like getting to know the world, or traveling, or like, it's like I feel like you have this ambition of the way of life, or like your lifestyle, what you envision. It's something that was not taught to you, or is not an opportunity. It's not opportunities that were given to you, but you have this. It's like, I'm just saying, because a lot of people that we have gone through scarcity or some tough times, it's really hard for us to imagine a different way of life. But it's like you can imagine and envision things that other people wouldn't in your situation, and he really admires that about you. And I just think that you're the kind of person that would really be moving to a different country, to a different town, for the sake as well of staying together. So your level of commitment is there, and he really admires that. Okay, so before we end this reading, I'm going to give you I'm going to tell you a little bit more about his personality, who he is, so you really do recognize him when you meet this person. The King of Coins, the Strength, the Eight of Cups. He could be a Capricorn. He could be a earth sign. So that's Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. Although I'm leaning more towards Taurus and Capricorn, to be honest. And I feel like, yeah, this person, he has money. He got money, okay? He got money. And that's why I feel like you were feeling like he spreads himself thin too much because he is needed in way too many places. This person could also be a dad already or a mom already. And so you admire, I'll say also like, when I said like how he treats families, like you admire that about him or her. Okay, so with the King of Coins, the Strength, the Eight of Cups, and the Ten of Coins, this man or woman can also be a Leo, a Taurus, a Capricorn, and someone very strong, very resilient, and with a lot of money. I feel like is someone that is very ambitious. I'm getting vibes of like life path number 8. If you know about numerology, like if you calculate the entire date of birth and you sum all of that and you make sure to get one digit, I'm getting vibes of like number 8 because it's very ambitious. Or maybe this person was born on the 8th of any month. Could be 8th of November, the 8th of March. Number 8 is important here, okay? I feel like this person definitely could also be like older than you, could already have a kid, could already have like a life, could be divorced. I feel like this person already has like a house or like a lot of assets. That's what I'm getting. Like this person is very settled already. And listen, maybe this was why he was going through this devil phase, because he is divorced and he's like living the life now to the max. I don't know. I also feel like this person does not want to repeat any romantic mistakes, and he has learned a lot from past experiences for sure. And I will also say with Strength next to the King of Coins, I do feel like he's someone who may be very more like serious and reserved in person, but in bed he is very different. So I feel like not shy, like I'm not saying shy, I feel like he could be like the kind of person that does not show any like show of affection in public, but at home he's very different. Like I feel like he's very passionate. I'm gonna give you 5 initials. This could be one, like maybe one of these are your person's initials. And before I give you those initials, just remember to subscribe, to give it a like if you like this reading. And if you ever want a private reading, you can head to tarotbyfernanda.com and get your own private reading. Okay, so initials are P as in Peter, R as in Robert, L as in Linda, O as in Oscar, and C as in Claudia. Okay, so those are the 5 initials that they're giving me for this reading. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you on the next pick a card. Hi there, pile number 3, and welcome to your reading. Now, I'm Fernanda. I'm the tarot reader behind all the pick a cards that you can find in this YouTube channel. Now, okay. You're here because you picked this card, so I'm gonna be doing your reading with this deck. This beautiful, beautiful, beautiful deck. Okay, now I'm just gonna start with the reading, but before I want to clarify that this is about your next committed, exclusive, romantic relationship. Okay, this is not about like the next person you're dating or going on dates. The next person you're having a situationship or like friends with benefits kind of situation, okay? This is a relationship. That said, let's start with like your energy right before you meet this person, because this will help you for sure to be able to tell when you're about to meet this person. Okay, so when it comes to you, you got this 10 of Wands, and this is like all about being really focused and putting all your energy, effort, maybe your time into your responsibilities. Like you're trying to fulfill your goal. You're trying to, maybe you feel a bit stressed, you feel a bit like overwhelmed because you're dealing with too many things at the same time, but I feel like you are definitely putting your focus on one thing that is very important for you. And so it's like you're pushing through and you are being a champ about it. And it could be that it's a time where you're really busy at work, you're really busy with work and family matters. You could be like carrying other people's responsibilities as well. And I just feel like you are demanding too much, requesting too much to your body, to your person. And I really feel like the 10 of Wands is like when you're very close to your goal as well. And so you cannot give up. Like this is not the time to take a nap. This is not the time to take a vacation. You can't, because you can see that you're so close to your goal. And so I feel like that's the stage you're gonna be in when you meet this person. Is like you have been putting such a lot of effort for some time already, and you feel like you're so close. You're so close to your goal, to achieving something you have been wanting for some time, to achieving maybe freedom. Sometimes it's not something like tangible. Sometimes it's not money. It's not a race. It's more of like you needed to push through to finish college so you could finally be free and move on to something else, let's say. Or you had a commitment, like you gave your word to someone about something, and so you want to finish this thing before you can now be free and do something else with your life. Okay, now when it comes to this other person, it's very interesting because it's the 7 of Swords. Now, this person, I feel like he or she, like your person, is at a point where he could be avoiding family matters. He could be avoiding family just in general. I think that he is hiding from other people. I'm getting that feeling that like he's hiding. And that, yeah, I feel like he's hiding from responsibilities instead. This person is avoiding like a commitment. And I'm not saying that it's not something bad necessarily. I feel like when you already know that this is your responsibility, let's imagine that his dad wants him to like take care of the family business, and so he flies far away because he does not want to deal with any of that. I'm getting a feeling like he doesn't want to deal with what he's good at. He doesn't want to deal with something that is meant for him. And I cannot criticize this person, like I cannot judge him, because I have run away from responsibilities that I have because I feel like I won't be good enough for it yet. And so that's a feeling I'm getting. I'm not getting like liar or anything. It's more of like he is running away from his full potential for whatever reason. Could he also be kind of into like more dangerous environments, like into like more dangerous like social circles? Could be as well. Could be like doing some sketchy stuff, maybe. Okay, so when you meet this person, okay, your future partner, what is the impression you get of him or her? What is the first impression you get? Makes sense. because the Seven of Swords came out as like, that's the stage he's in, right? That's the stage he's in. Of course, like, I feel like you two are really good at reading each other when you meet each other. And I think that not even reading each other, I feel like you two do not wear a mask when you meet for the first time, and you're very straightforward of who you are and where you are at life. And because how he perceives you is very on point of where you are at life with this Ten of Wands, and how you perceive him or her, your future partner, is very on point of where he is at life with this Seven of Swords, okay? You perceive him as the Seven of Cups. And to begin with, 7, the frequency 7 actually is a frequency of divinity and creativity. And I find that I really love the number 7. Personally, I really love the number 7. And I'm really getting like, you can tell that this person is very confused, that this person does not have like a specific goal, that he is maybe distracting himself with all the options he thinks he has. So maybe when you talk to each other, right? Maybe if you were to ask a question like, and so what's next for you? And he's like, well, I may end up staying here and get a job, or I may end up moving to Guatemala, or maybe I'm like, I don't know, my buddy and I, we were thinking of maybe opening a business, but I'm not sure yet. So it's like very different things, and you're like, wow, this person really is all over the place. But I'm getting the sense that even you can tell that he or she has a lot of potential. It's just like it feels like this person is running from their true potential, from their talent, from asking more from themselves. And I don't feel like necessarily emotionally. I feel more about like this is more related to what, like, to financial and maybe career as well, or purpose, like being more in purpose. And I just feel like this person, your future partner, is very smart, and you can tell that he is smart, but you feel like he's all over the place. Like he is very indecisive, and he can also be, I feel like, he entertains fantasies that are just that, fantasies, like it's not real things. Yeah. Okay. Now when it comes to you, his first impression is the Knight of Swords. And this is like, you are so self-driven. Like, you can tell right away, like, you're so focused, you're so ambitious, you're so perfectionist. Like, you see something you want and you go and get it. Like, there's nothing that can stop you. I also feel with the Knight of Swords, like, and the Ten of Wands, that this is where you are at life, and this is how he perceives you. He thinks you're freaking smart. He really thinks that you have like a high IQ, or that you're very good with words, and like you're very, like, the way you express yourself about your goals, about everything, is like, wow, this person is so ambitious in life, and I can tell that she's on her path. Like, this is the thing, like, when you meet him, you're like, he's very like daydreaming a lot, and he has a lot of cool ideas, but he's so indecisive. So you know that he's not taking action on anything, while he sees right away, like, your future partner, that you are on the right track already. Like, you're already on your way, and you're at full speed, and that you're someone who, like, you're very assertive, and I feel like you will never take a no for an answer. I think that it could be that you are very intellectual, or that you have, like, you have gone to the university, you have done your master, you have like kind of like a higher level of education. Okay, now let's see okay, so what is something that kind of unites you, or like ties you two together, like connects you both? Because seems like you are in a very different stage of life, but for some reason, like, you connect. Okay, so What is something that is connecting you two? Interesting. Okay, so there's the Three of Wands, the Hermit, and the Devil. Okay. So I definitely feel like both of you, even if you are like at different stages of your life, because I feel like you really feel that you're doing something in your life and you have direction, and maybe your future partner doesn't necessarily have much direction, but I can see now what actually is connecting you two. With the Hermit and the Devil, it's like whatever you're doing, even if like let's say you're really busy and you're really giving your all, I feel like you don't feel at peace. I feel like you don't feel fulfilled, and I feel like both of you like don't feel fulfilled, and you know that there's something more, and you know that sometimes we always think that the one person that is working really hard is like going somewhere, but sometimes you're working really hard as to not look at what you should be looking at or taking care of what you should be taking care of, so work can become a distraction. And I just feel like both of you feel like you may be running from something. You may feel like you're not being capable of connecting with life at a deeper level where you could feel fulfilled, where you could feel something, where, because with the Devil is like intensity, pleasure, but nothing is sacred. And it's like you too want to feel that, like something is sacred for you, something is so important for you, something is so valuable that you don't play with it. And I feel like both of you wonder, like, what would it be like feeling like I see other people being happy and being at peace and being like being fulfilled with this little much. And it's like you both of you wonder about that, because whatever lifestyle you have, there is a little voice that tells you this is not peaceful, this is not is that is not enough, but you realize that you may be lying to yourself all this time. And with the Hermit, it's like both of you are at a point where you want to find answers, want to be truthful to each other and to yourself. And with the Three of Wands as well, it's like you want to, you're daring. I feel like you want to expand. You want to expand that knowledge, but not book smart, because already I feel like you are really like book smart or you're very intelligent. But with the Hermit, it's wisdom. And that is something that you can only get while you actually are living life, living experiences. And I feel like that's something that both of you want to finally have and you two have in common. And that's, I feel like that's also one of the reasons why you two connect. Okay, so once that you get to know each other a bit more, what is something about, like, what is your perception now about him, about your partner? And let's see what is his impression about you. Now, this could be because, you two are already dating, or maybe you're not dating yet, but you already know each other because you have already, hang out. Okay. So the way he perceives you, by then you got the Seven of Wands and the Queen of Wands. This is really interesting because, look, he perceives you as the Knight of Swords. Swords, it's air, and also the Knight of Swords is pretty cold, pretty ambitious, but you're like a bit intimidated because you know that that person is capable of anything just to get their way. So he could perceive you a little bit heartless as well. And then Seven of Wands and the Queen of Wands. Okay, the Queen. So it's like now that he got to know you better, he realizes that you are such a purpose-driven person, but purpose is not like goals, like, okay, I want to be a millionaire. He now realizes, okay, hold on a second. This person, you, are actually someone who is dedicating her life or his life to something he's passionate about. For you, like, he realizes like your person is like, whoa, like, she really cares about being authentic. She's really passionate and creative. And she's very sensual as well. And she's very attractive. And like, I feel like his perception about you changes completely because he sees you as someone who's fierce and strong and confident, but sexy. And like, when I say fierce, it's not like cold. It's very different from cold, okay? Or heartless. It's more about like you are passionate about what you believe. And I feel like also like he sees you as a very much warmer person at that point. You're someone who's very protective towards the things that you care about, and you could be very territorial, like that's how he perceives you. With this Queen of Wands, I feel like you could he can see you now as someone who's pretty social, or who has like that emotional intelligence to be able to be social around any kind of person. And it's interesting because now, when you get to know him a bit better, you realize that he has come very far, taking into consideration his upbringing. Okay, like you now realize that he has also been able to break a lot of patterns from, his parents or family members, where he comes from, and he really is well traveled and well spoken, or like he knows, maybe he has traveled a lot, or he knows a lot about life. It's like, you may be very smart and book smart, and of course you're someone passionate, but I feel like you realize that he's also someone who is, who, because he has traveled, or he knows a lot about life, he is a very wholesome person after all. And you realize that, wow, this person has come so far, maybe not in the sense of like financially speaking, but more about like his endeavors have more to do with everything he has had to like break, like the patterns, to be who he is now. And I also feel like you realize that he has really moved from a lot of traumas that he has had as a kid, like maybe when he tells you a bit more about his story, and you feel like you cannot believe the level of harmony he has now in life, and that it's not thanks to anyone but himself and his own decisions. Okay. I feel like this person is very like uplifting. Like your person will be very uplifting, will have like a sense of humor, and you're just even gonna be like, how is he so grounded, or how is he so wholesome, or so like, hopeful, although like even after everything that has happened to him. Okay. Now, let's look at how he inspires you and how you inspire him. So, how does he inspire you? And how you inspire him. Okay. So, there's a Nine of Pentacles here, and on the bottom, I didn't take it out, but it was the Fool. And that's how he inspires you in life, to be more or to be less of something. And it's interesting because the Nine of Coins is actually someone who is more superficial or more materialistic, okay? And I feel like with this, with the Fool on the bottom, it's like he inspires you to care less about what people think, care less about material stuff, and be more authentic when it comes to that, okay? Because I feel like you're a quite authentic person when it comes to your purpose, but how you present yourself to others, you may sometimes like wear something and he will be like, "Oh, do you like this dress?" And you're like, "No, actually I don't like it, but everyone tells me I look good on in it." And he will be like, "Then why will you like wear that dress? Although you look amazing, if you don't like it or if you don't like the material, then don't wear it." Or like maybe he realizes that you buy things because you feel like you need to have them and because you need to show your status, but you're not really into it, right? And so I feel like he inspires you to not care about what people think, to be more independent as well. And so this could be like, maybe you have a special attachment with someone, could be a family member, could be a friend as well. And I feel like you sometimes try to be very proper with these people, and he's like inspiring you to be less of that. It's like, take care of yourself, pamper yourself all you want, but be true to yourself. That's it, like what I'm getting from it. Okay. Now, you definitely are someone who is so generous because you inspire him with this Six of Coins, Six of Cups, and the High Priestess. Okay? So, you're someone who is very generous. You probably give a lot to charity, and you are inspiring him to be the same, to be very kind to others, to have gestures of love and appreciation. I feel like you, like I said, you have really good manners. So I feel like whenever you go to someone's house, whenever you go to anyone's birthday, you bring a gift. And maybe he's more aloof, maybe he's more like distracted, and he doesn't have those like manners. And I feel like you have inspired him to do so because you're someone who takes really good care of the people that you love, that you care for, and he is copying that at this point. He is also feel like because of the way you are and the like the environment you're building together, I just feel like he gets inspired of like healing because the Six of Cups represents memories and like, you know, those very dearing, loving memories of your childhood. And you can really relive your childhood, but I feel like through you and through the love and presence and caring that you show to him, he is rewriting that. He is healing that inner child that may have gone through very difficult times. And I feel like he's creating new memories that are really making his inner child feel so at ease, so happy, so at peace. This is very cute, honestly. And I feel like, you know, kudos to you because, I mean, that speaks volumes of the kind of person you are and the kind of environment that you can build around someone. Once again, like I said, you're someone who loves to receive and loves to give. You are so grateful to God, grateful to things, grateful to whatever you believe. Is like you're grateful for the little things that you have and the big things, and he is now also being the same. They're also telling me that maybe he didn't used to take care of his material things, like he would like very quickly scratch his phone or scratch his laptop, you know, get his laptop scratched, break the screen, shatter like his like laptop screen. But like because of the way you are, you have inspired him to take better care of his physical, like his things, right? And with the High Priestess as well, I feel like you're someone who's very much more intuitive, very much more spiritual. So you two connect because you are at a time in which you both are looking for answers. But I feel like you are the kind of person that is looking for answers in a more spiritual path, while he was looking for answers because he feels unhappy, he feels unfulfilled, he feels like he knows that if he keeps walking that path, is he's going to self-destroy himself. And so I just feel like you inspire him to be much more intuitive, to meditate, to be more spiritual, and to open that third eye. Okay, now what is something that you admire most about him, or that you admire about each other? Okay, what is something that you admire about him? Oh, seriously, I feel like you're such a happy person. Like pile number 4, like you are such a good person. He admires the most. There's the sun. You make everything better. Like I feel like he could be sometimes someone who can worry, who can not even, it's not worry. I feel like he, like I said, he has a lot of traumas, a lot of past experiences that maybe he has nightmares from of up to this day. And I feel like he feels like you're just joy, you're sunshine. He admires that you are such a kind, sweet person to everyone, that he feels that like he can trust you, that he can confide in you, that he feels very confident, very comfortable around you. And you're someone who is very happy, and I feel like you share your success with everyone. Like you're happy for others, you're happy for yourself, and you like to celebrate your success as well. And you're just joyful, and I think that he really admires that about you. When it comes to what you admire most about him, there is the Ace of Swords, and I will say that you know that he is very truthful. He has been very open with you, and he will, I feel like you admire that he is capable of communicating things, because sometimes there are people that, because they have dealt with a lot in the past, they don't have the tools to express what they want to say, and so they could create such a big argument out of nothing. But I feel like you feel like whenever you ask something or a question, he's very transparent, he's very truthful, and I feel like he can give you a straight answer. And you like about that, like that you just have to ask, and he won't be hiding like things at all. You also admire that whenever he is focused on something, he will like whenever he starts something, he's really focused on it, like he's capable of concentrating his mind. And what I mean by that, not concentrating, is like, have you ever experienced someone being like having dinner with you, but looking at his phone all the time, or being elsewhere mentally? But I feel like what you admire about him is that when he's there, he's there. Like he's there present, like his mind is there with you. Because sometimes it's like someone could be kissing you, someone could be even like having intimacy with you, and their mind is somewhere else. And I just feel like you admire that he's very truthful, and when he's there, like when he gives all his focus, like 100%, to whoever is in front of him, or like in whatever situation he's in. Okay, now we're gonna end this reading with more. I'm gonna tell you a bit more about him that could give you clues about this person, so when you meet him, you know that this is a person. And I'm also going to give you initials. Okay, so if you have made it to this point of the reading, I will really appreciate if you can give it a like. Maybe you can even leave a comment if you have the time. That would be great. Subscribe for sure. That only takes a second. That really helps the channel to keep growing and motivates me to keep publishing content. He 100% is someone who has so much potential. You know what? I feel like he's such a creative person. He's a very he's very artistic. He has a lot of imagination, and he has so much potential, honestly. I feel like he just doesn't believe in himself. The Magician, the Star, the Strength. These are all very, like, powerful, creative, artistic energies that are capable of whatever they want to achieve. But I feel like he doesn't trust himself for some reason. I feel like this is more of a psychological aspect of his personality, and he will have to like deal with that and, you know, heal that, work on that. Okay. And I got some initials. Also, if you do wish to have a private reading at some point, if you have like a question, like, I can't speak anymore. Seriously, like I'm so tired. If you ever have any question that is very important for you and that a general reading won't do it, you can just head to Torah by Fernanda and get a private reading. Okay? Let's try to finish this. Okay, so this person, like I said, I feel like he's very, very creative, very artistic. I feel like he has a lot of faith and wishful thinking, and he has great power of manifestation. I'll say that. There is like Aquarius energy here. There's also like strong Leo energy as well. I think that he's very resourceful, has a great sense of humor. He could be a bit weird, like a bit quirky. And that's why I'm getting like Aquarius vibes as well, because, or yeah, I'm getting like Aquarius vibes for some reason. Or maybe like a air moon. So like a air moon could be a like Aquarius, Gemini, Libra moon, because it's a bit more of a challenge for them to connect with others, and it has a lot to do with the lack of connection with their mom. Okay, and so kids that do have that, like that air moon, they do have to do a lot of work to be able to connect at a deeper level with people and feel comfortable, because air moons are the ones that are like they don't want to be hugged, but it has to do with a relation, like a direct, there's a direct correlation with their moms. So I feel like that he's such a great person. He has such a great potential. I do think there's a big sadness in his heart. Like there's sorrow, there's a disappointment that he carries with himself. There's a big like heartbreak, and I'm not getting like it is something that is romantic. I really feel it has to do with things that has happened in his life. Like I said, trauma, or something that it was like a forced separation. It could be like he could be an orphan or something. There's something for the Three of Swords to be here as something that really kind of determines who he is as a person. This is the trauma. This is a forced separation. Like I said, like maybe he was separated from his mom at an early age or something, or his dad, and it's just something that even to this day, if he thinks about it, it's something that still defines him. It's something that still gets to him. And it's something that he carries with him. And also another thing I'm seeing with the Magician, the Star and Strength, they're not moving. These energies are not moving. They're just like standing or sitting. And so I feel like what he lacks is he lacks of knowing how to start, because I feel like he lacked mentors, but the potential is there. So I feel like when you see him, maybe you could be the person that guides him to like, okay, you have all these great ideas, all this great knowledge and potential. I'm gonna help you for you, or I'm gonna push you to start. Because I feel like he is very life smart, um, has a lot of abilities, a lot of gifts. He is kind of the kind of person that if you, even if he's not a carpenter, if you tell him how to make a chair, he will make it. If you tell him you need to fix this issue, he will solve it. But because it's something that already happened and he knows how to solve things. But to start things from scratch, I feel like he really struggles with that. Another thing is he's very brave, like, and he has a lot of courage when it comes to like day-to-day things. Like, he's that kind of person that if he sees someone stealing someone's bag, he's the kind of person that's gonna run after. I just feel like he lacks that confidence and maybe that ambition to start things. um Now the initials they're giving me, they're telling me Y as in Yvette, well, Y as in yellow, K as in Kevin, G as in Gabriella, D as in Daniel, and X as in Xavier. Those are the 5 initials that they're giving me, that could apply very well to your future partner. I know this reading was kind of long. I really hope that you appreciate this reading, and I will see you on the next Pick a card. Bye.